knew what it was, and I was just like, yeah, I was gung-ho, and I was like, telling everybody, jiu-jitsu is going to take over the world, you don't understand, it's most effective martial art. They're like, yeah, and then I get the whole like, oh, my nephew is 14 years old, or 12 years old, is a red belt, and this and that. I'm like,
Taekwondo.
You're not listening.
Yeah, it was, originally, a lot of people really did think that it was just, they didn't understand. I personally, when I was at the first UFC, and when I seen Royce go in there and stuff, I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah,
it's like they're just rolling around. People in the audience were like, what did they do? He just rolled on the ground with him and beat him? No one knew what happened.
Right.
I remember that. I was like, I got to find out. You know?
Yeah, what is this stuff?
My impressions at the time were, the big guy's on top and it looks like he's winning. And that was not the case at all.
Yeah.
So
you're thinking it's over.
Surprised me. Besides Helio, did you have any other instructors?
When I first started out, I was with Rorion, Royce and Helio Gracie, and of course Helio lived in Brazil, but he would fly out there frequently to Los Angeles at the Gracie Academy and help out because Rorion Gracie just started, well, not yet. Excuse me, he hadn't started the instructors program yet, but that's how I got really involved and really in with the Gracie family at the time.
Okay. So Rorion and Helio
and Royce. Yeah.
Okay. Do you train under anyone else now? Or?
Yeah, I'm under Rigan Machado. Okay. Yeah, black belt under Rigan Machado.
That's a great background too. I'm going to from the left.
Yes, my whole career. I spent my whole career competing.
Right. And some of those competitions were.
Let's see. Well,
the ones you're most proud of, I should say.
Well, I won the Pan Ams, gold medal in the Pan Ams in my division.
That's an awesome achievement.
Thank you. What year? What year was that? I got pictures. I'm so bad at time frame. I honestly, on the website, I don't even have all my credentials up there as far as tournaments because I forget most. A couple students of mine laughed because they were like, "Where are your medals?" And they found them at the bottom of the academy, all in a box with dust everywhere. And I'm like, "You gotta put this stuff up. Nobody knows anything."
That says a lot, though, doesn't it? That says he cares about the experience, not just this is what I can do.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really
It's all
good.
up here, right?
Yeah. It's on a daily basis. It shows itself on the map. And what I can give to others, that's the important part. What year was it? Oh, 2001. I'm sorry. 2001 as a brown belt.
When we actually do the filming tips, what I like to do is I like to move him out of position because he has the ankle, and we'll move you on this side of the camera.
That's fine. And what's your personal or school motto that you like to convey to your students?
Well, we have one of our models. I don't know. It's just one of our tags that is mostly red as opposed to said. But it's precise instruction of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And we really, like I said, there's a million Jiu Jitsu schools out there. What we pride ourselves on is we offer a completely different product.
Right.
And that's because I learned strictly under Helio Gracie, specifically on how to teach, fight, and everything else. And that's the aspect that people don't know because they've never done. They didn't have that opportunity. I was just right place, right time. I was just fortunate. And I'm not special or anything like that. I was just, fortunate at the time to get what I got. So we do offer a different product. And I do pride myself on our teaching methods, so that's kind of the thing. I don't know if that was probably a lot more than you wanted.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And besides your own schools, are you affiliated with anyone else besides?
Besides our own? Yes, the Machados. And I have a lot of good friends in the industry just because we've been in it so long. Most of my friends, they're all black belts now. I've got a black belt under a friend of mine who's a black belt under Ralph Gracie owns Gracie, Orange County. I've got Sapaos from Brazil in Northern Cal, and Ralph Gracie who worked with a little bit in Northern Cal. And of course, all the Machados, and then all of our friends too that kind of split off. Kaiki is a good friend of mine who's big in Jiu-Jitsu. He came from Helio as well, and Hickson.
Okay.
And Hickson's guys. Me and the Gracie Academy, I was at the Gracie Academy at the time, and all my friends are at Hickson, so we all used to be good friends. And now they're all black belts and have their own schools and they're in different affiliations and stuff, but we're all very tight.
So you've all basically taken the same path after?
Yes, a lot of us.
Okay.
Not all of us, but
just, your points of interest besides outside of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Outside of Jiu-Jitsu, the brain and the mind, and how it works, but it all entails for Jiu-Jitsu for my students.
Does that stem also into different states of consciousness in a sense, like meditations?
I would say more like
training devices and things like that.
Yes. That as well, it's a big realm because I like to look at the how the brain works and how we are best capable of absorbing information, delivering information. So communication, psychology, all kinds of different things. You know, neuro-linguistic programming, anything that works and it works fast, so that students can learn the information better. So I study. I'm a little obsessed with things that I do.
That's good.
Including jiu-jitsu. You know, I've broken the record at the Gracie Academy. Nobody's ever touched it. I took 150 classes in 3 months. Steve Neckley wrote an article in a magazine back in 1994, and he mentioned me in it because of the dedication. And he was talking. It's in Black Belt magazine. They have a book out with all the original old articles of the Gracie family.
Really?
Well, I'm in that article.
Are you?
Yeah. And he just mentioned this guy lived across the street. I used to come 45 minutes a day, and I used to complain how big traffic I would sit. Until I met a guy who came from another state, who lived across the street in a beat-down motel, and left his girlfriend and all his stuff in storage, and just lived the jiu-jitsu life, and that was me.
Gotcha.
And after
That's
me,
awesome.
well, after me, then became the jiu-jitsu bum. Me, like I lived at a place like Sanford and Son, slept on mats, did what I could, scraped for change just to train every day, and now you got guys doing this all over the world.
See, that's one of the things that why we're doing what we're doing is because we love it so much, and I've eating, sleeping, thinking, meditating, write about it. It's all I do, and that's cool because I mean a lot of guys just do the classes, get the belt, and now they're a superstar, and then they didn't have to suffer and pay the dues, you know.
It comes down to, I can show you my phone. I have, the DJ Penn figure and the little UFC toys.
Oh, okay.
Action figures.
Yes, I play with them. Wait. Guys laugh until I show them the pictures of my phone. I'm setting up and making them in positions and showing all the control points.
Gotcha.
And now, what am I doing? I'm creating a meaningful experience. It's hilarious, but they're like, whoa, can you give that to me? I got grown men, cops even, buying toys now. And doing it because it helps create a more meaningful experience so they remember it. They laughed and they're like, oh my God, I'm never going to forget that thing.
That was sweet. They learned from it.
They all have, they have 2 arms and 2 legs.
Yep.
So
And it's just being obsessed with it and also creating more meaningful experiences. I was so obsessed, I would listen to binaural beats when I first took jiu-jitsu. And so my brainwaves would be in alpha and theta. So I would absorb the information, and then on top of that, I would take a nap, because the best time to study is right before you take a nap or go to bed, so your unconscious mind works on it, so you have the answers, solutions, or the information when you wake up. That's the idea. So I'd study at very specific times, listen to binaural beats, draw stick figures, write my techniques down, visualize, go through all my senses and do it. I was just obsessed, and I still do this on a daily basis.
That's awesome.
I'm just obsessed. And I'm studying psychology, I kid you not, 8 hours a night while I sleep, so it's entering my unconscious mind.
Oh, you trained your subconscious mind so you wake up with the same thoughts or the solutions that you went to. I'm familiar with that practice as well.
And I listen to information all night long on psychology and how the brain works and everything. And then I don't listen to the radio ever. I don't watch television, so I don't know what's going on in the world. All I do is listen to information on on psychology and how to better communicate. Not only for my students in jiu-jitsu, but I have 2 twin daughters that are 3 years old, and I'm developing their mind and developing their senses, so no matter what they choose to do in life, they're going to be intelligent through all their senses. So whatever they choose to do, whether it's music, auditory, or something that's physical like jiu-jitsu, Pilates, dance, whatever, it's kinesthetic, or if they want to do something that's visual, or it's through their senses, being a wine tester, I'm developing their senses, every single sense. So whatever they choose in life, they're going to be successful at it and have a positive, something positive going to it, and they're always talking in the positive, not what they don't want, what most people do, so they're going to have more success in life. So I don't push jiu-jitsu, but I encourage things to stimulate their senses so they can make more positive choices in life. And I do that for my students too.
That's actually really, really, really awesome that you do that. I'm familiar with that. I spent a lot of, and obviously, this isn't about me, but I've spent a lot of years studying various forms of psychology, philosophy, and sociology, and all these different types of things, everything from Jung to Aleister Crowley. And what I mean by that is the occult practices. I'm more versed in the occult sciences than I am in anything.
Right.
And that may sound a little crazy.
Which is like politics too.
But it's like, it has a lot of
the same psychology.
The neurologies and the sciences and the physics and the subconscious programming.
I study a lot of the same thing too because a lot of it is familiar.
It is very similar.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And it's really rare to see some. I mean, it's probably going to be a really good interview.
4 to 6 hours a day and 8 hours through the night, every day of my life. I'm obsessed, and it's all to make my students better.
Yeah. To better yourself and to help them. Well, see, like even and a lot of people don't credit this, but even Bruce Lee and other people like that they serve as catalysts for self-growth. Like for me, the martial arts, jiu-jitsu, things like that was a catalyst for my self-growth. It was the samadhi experience. It was the evolution. It was the kundalini. It was the awakening. It was the essence of who you are, knowing thyself. It was understanding who you are in your relation to the synchronicity of the environment.
Yes.
Exactly. And so that's what we care about.
Principles, concepts, different perspectives, different psychologies, ways of using the brain and tricks and stuff. It's never ending. I mean, I'm constantly learning. There's never a day I'm not learning.
But that's
and I tell my daughters that too.
That's the joy.
That's the joy.
There's no such thing as a master.
Because tomorrow I'm going to be a little bit better than I was the day before.
Right.
I don't have to know all. I just have to be better than I was before.
Exactly.
So my life can be more simplistic, easier, and I can find a more efficient way of using my brain. So my life, I spend less energy and have more joy out of it. Life is meant to be enjoyed, not endured. So the more I can create my brain to see easier things and make my life easier, now I'm on a better track. If I can make life easier tomorrow, I'm doing the right thing today. That's what it's about. I don't hear many people say this stuff like you, and I love it.
Also, I was just thinking to myself, I've interviewed a lot of people, and I've had contacts with various people in various organizations and various things in covert fields and all kinds of stuff, from aliens to everything you can imagine. And I can tell you honestly, you're the only person I've met that I would study under. So far, that honestly, that I would actually study under. That I would
just listening to you, it sounds like you have done.
That I would listen to. Everybody else is always full of shit, to tell you the truth. And I've talked to big names, and a lot of them are kind of, you know, they'll have a little bit, but it's more about this is me, this is what I do, this is who I am. You know, and you're a human being. It's a pleasure to meet.
More
like
about
Bruce
the journey
said,
and how you got there, and the approaches that you take to get there, and that's always ongoing.
What did Linda say? What did Linda say? The one thing that she wanted everyone to remember, that Bruce would want, that people would have known that he was a real human being, man. And that's what I see in front of me right now. So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
This interview's going to go great, I can already tell.